Alright, let's be honest. Apex Legends has been through a lot throughout the years. Yesterday there was an update on some buffs and nerfs, and I got all those timestamped so you can skip ahead if you want. But there's something important that I kind of want to talk about first. Now, what I was saying is that Apex is still here 6+ years later. I remember playing World of Warcraft back in the day, and honestly I've been back on WoW Classic. But every year there was always a new MMO saying this is the WoW killer. Yet World of Warcraft is still here, and it's still going. Now, the reason I'm making this video is yesterday there were even more buffs and nerfs that I talked about and they're timestamped. It got me thinking. Since this last season, I have noticed more updates, news, game mode rotations than ever before. And the past stuff would remain the way it is for months or even until next season. Now, things are actually getting addressed. I mean, I made a post about servers even being updated. I mean, some report that it's not good, while others say it's amazing. I mean, I have to assume that the server update has to be for a good reason. It's everything slowly but surely actually being addressed. That's kind of the big pressing question that everyone has been thinking. Some will say, like my friend, that it's too late, it should have been done sooner, but the numbers are consistent, and to be honest, this is really the most fun that I've had in Apex in a while. I checked their social media and it's interesting to see the constant updates, and I really do appreciate it. Yes, and let's be honest here, even further, I've been to blame, talking about is the game dying, what's going on, the controversy. Let's not all try to be all innocent here, but I do actually see the effort. So instead of just the constant doom and gloom that everyone loves to post on YouTube, let's be honest, even more that gets views, let me go ahead and say that I appreciate the work on the game. People ask me a ton what my favorite season is, and I never have given an answer because I've never had one. And I'm starting to think that I do have one because I think this is a turning point for this game. It's the current season. And it really is because a lot of stuff that I've been upset about is actually being addressed. Cheaters, servers, balance, new modes, rotation of content, and now, is that perfect? No. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just be fair. Let's not get confused that I still want more progression on this. I want this to continue to be the highlight, but it is progress, and I hope that this year, where Apex makes the biggest bounce back, it really just has me excited on its overall potential. All right, so what got me thinking was the fact that on their socials, we see more and more adjustments coming. I mean, even in game, they've just brought back solos, and I love that. Just the constant rotation and bringing in new things. It's really working, in my opinion. Some of it, I'm gonna be honest, could actually stay a little longer or just needs to be a permanent mode. So let's talk about the buffs and nerfs real quick. So first off is Ash, which is the increased ultimate max distant travel time from 1.4 to 2.5. The increased ultimate's minimum travel time from 0.3 to 0.5. So this is really noticeable, and it feels like Alter really when you're really far away, like going up on height. So it is noticeably slower. All right, this kind of buffs the instantaneous push that Ash had before, where you can pretty much know that it's coming a bit more. There's a little bit more breathing room. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but that is more than enough time for somebody to get off a res. That's kind of the point. Can somebody have 1 or 2 more seconds to get a battery off, or jump down a set of stairs to reposition, or get on height, anything of that nature? So the next one is Mirage. The increased number of decoys created during Mirage's ultimate from 5 to 6. Now, that's not really huge, but interesting that they're paying attention to Mirage, because Mirage, while even during the support meta, has never been like the shining star of the show, so to speak. So it's interesting that if you are a Mirage main, that at least it's on the radar. As well as Conduit, they increased tactical health regen per tick from 3 to 4. This one is interesting because since the TTK changes, as well as the Skirmisher buff, Conduit needs a new passive, and it still needs to be addressed because everyone's got the speed boost when looking at a Skirmisher. But based on the TTK, this is a step of making Conduit more viable, but also not breaking the legend, because Conduit was one of those legends that if pushed too far, could easily break the game. So speaking of breaking the game, they decreased the time for Seer's Tactical to hit targets from 1.4 to 0.8 seconds. They also decreased the time for Seer's Tactical to finish from 1 second to 0.9 seconds. Now, this is a slight buff making the Tactical more viable. This is a legend that I fear. Okay, skin meta, in my opinion, is never fun, but Seer is one of the lowest pick rates in the game, across the board. And I know it may sound mean, but I'd rather him stay there. But I fear that because when he becomes really strong, then it's like constantly having wall hacks. Now, what sucks is that we have a lot of different iterations of wall hacks that kind of exist in the game. I just never enjoyed scan meta. I've never enjoyed any character that is able to see through walls, just my own opinion. Now weapons, the Hemlock's a lot more viable because the Hemlock headshot damage is increased by 2. They increase the magazine size by 3 for base, which is white, blue, and then getting up to, so forth. Hemlock is just more viable compared to the Nemesis. Before, it was just pretty much like, just go grab the Nemesis, ignore the Hemlock. And Hemlock is still good, but everything else is so much better. Now next up, they normalize the Volt hipfire to match other SMGs. Now this is just a slight adjustment, but the Volt is really good, but to keep in mind, even its ammo count total, because it is an energy gun, is lower. So I can see why people don't pick it up. I really do like the Volt though. It's really, really strong. They also increased all SMG headshot damage by 1. This is to encourage more SMG usage. I don't think it's going to be that make or break, but it's enough to encourage more of that skill factor. Now, speaking of skill factor, when the P2020s has been very dominant across the board and competitive, they decrease the damage from 25 to 24. It's interesting again because it's on the radar. They know it's really strong, but I'm surprised that it didn't get a bigger hit. So we'll see where P2020s continue to land. I still think that pros are going to keep running it. They also increase the vertical and horizontal movement and recoil pattern of the L-Star. They also reduce the projectile size of the L-Star. Now, the L-Star was hands down one of the best guns, but then the P2020 spiked. I don't think the L-Star is just being grabbed by everyone, and I fear this will make it just less viable. You don't see anybody running around just mindlessly saying L-Star, L-Star, R-Star is the best gun in the game. I don't think that it was necessarily necessary. They just keep putting it down further and further. Maybe they're just afraid that it's going to become that good of a gun. We'll see. Now, the last change here is the ult accelerated weapons have been reduced, I guess to incentivize that they're not as overpowered. They reduced the 30% to 20%. They also fixed an issue where assists with accelerated weapons would sometimes not grant additional ult charge. So that makes sense while they're nerfing it because that would also cause issues. Now, are any of these changes busted? No, but what I appreciate here is that they're actually addressing points in the game and trying to make more updates. This isn't the first time they've done this. I mean, you see me constantly making more updates about what's going on in the game, changes, and so forth. And it just gets me excited about the future of Apex because this is just not the norm. So I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I really think that Apex has been in a really positive direction. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. How are you feeling? I mean, overall, what I've been seeing on just Reddit and other social media platforms, that it's been better. So I'm hoping they keep up with this trend. So thank you guys again. I'll see you guys all in the next one.